Alright, everybody, so this is my technically second thing for my podcast, but really it's like my first official episode. It's not like an intro or whatever. So I wanted to get into my first supernatural experiences, and this will be posted around early July, because I feel like God's telling me to start it then. So, alright, we're going to start out in October. So I prayed, I think I went over this, that I was in a dark spot, and I just came across supernatural videos and wanted to have an experience in heaven, to meet God, all the things. So I eventually had experiences, and I want to get into a few of them today. So the first was in October of 2023. I was at a car shop, and my guardian angel sat across from me at the car shop, disguised as like an older Abe Lincoln is what he looked like. So he came in as a human, so I don't think other people realized, but I did for some reason. Next up was in January, the first week of 2024. I had a dream and watched a core memory of mine at my great-grandma's house with my parents, brother, and grandma. We were all there with her, and she smiled at me through the memory of her, and everything happened how I remembered, the seating, the things we did, all the eating, whatever. Then the next week I had a dream of Satan coming, and these are all supernatural dreams. They're not like normal dreams. He came to me in a dream as my great-grandma, trying to convince me it was her. Didn't buy it, because it wasn't. And we stuffed dead birds together because that's what he wanted to do. Don't ask me. Third thing, the next week I found out great-grandma had cancer in the 90s when my mom was between the age of 7 and 18. Was it 8 and 17 or 7 and 17? One of the two. Anyway, and then I asked my mom about it, and it was true. Next week, at the very end of January, I went to heaven for the first time, went out of body, and I saw rocks, I saw water in rocks, I saw mountain, gravel, I saw orange and black rocks. I saw, I'm missing something, particles in the air, and I got to see my great-grandpa again. He died when I was 8 years old, so it had been a little while. And then we talked, and I remember telling him, he asked me how I was doing. I said, I'm doing great. I'm doing great, great-grandpa. And he said, that's awesome. How have you been? I said, I'm doing great. I have that wrong. Okay, hold up. Sorry, guys. So he asked me, how have you been? It's good to see you. I said, I'm great. It's good to see you, great-grandpa. He said, it's good to see you, too. We felt mutual love because we love each other as family, right? And then I remember tripping and falling on the mountain and laughing because it didn't hurt. And then I remember talking to him. I only remember talking about my dad. I don't really remember what else we talked about when I sat down on those orange rocks and talked with him. But yeah, so buffered a little bit there of what I was trying to say, but got it out. So then I'm going to get into one more, and this is... so this is a supernatural dream turned into out of body. So my mom's a teacher, and I went to where she teaches K through 8. And at this time, my cousins were at that school. They just graduated. And I, in this dream, was with my mom. My brother and my dad were helping out. I guess we didn't have school. And we didn't have school, work, whatever. And to clarify, in dreams, supernatural dreams are either angels or demons. They're not actually people, except with great-grandma smiling at me through the dream. Most of the time, your ancestors are not going to come in dreams. If they do, I would pray on it, because more than likely that is probably demonic, but it can happen. Okay, so to clarify, these are angels, right? Same with the other ones. A couple were demons or Satan, depending on how they were to me, like mean or nice or whatever. Anyway, my mom, me, my dad, and my brother all drop down, die, and come out of body. Eyes are sealed shut, and we're pulled across town. Again, I don't know how to explain supernatural dreams other than you're there somehow, but you're not out of body until you go out of body. So then we arrive at the school, and basically the rapture had happened. And this was a scenario. Now, of course, I know now that it wasn't real. It was real, but it wasn't like the rapture. It was like a scenario built for me. I don't know how God does it, but he's God, right? So in them, you think these are real people. You don't realize they're angels because your body, your brain registers real being in human disguise, it doesn't register that it's an angel, right? Or a demon. So I remember walking in, and a few of my cousins were in the classroom. They weren't taken with the rapture. So I went up to one of them and I was yelling, "I am dead except Jesus." And all they heard was dead, 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 Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And I'm like, what? Like that's not helpful. So I said it again, only heard dead, 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 Jesus, 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 right? So then I was like, okay, I gotta take measures into my own hands, picked up the notebook and threw it on the ground. And everyone's staring at my cousin. He picks it up, puts it on his desk, and he's like, right? So then I'm like, okay, the teacher kept teaching, and I'm like, fine. So I picked up all the notebooks, flipped them up off the desks, picked up everyone's book bag, threw them against the wall. And the teacher goes, okay, clearly something is happening here. Who is this? Clearly something's going on. What do you want, and who are you? And I said to my mom, I'm like, every time angel mom, not all angels. And she said to me, I was like, what are we going to do? Like, every time I talk to people, they're just hearing 2 words of a sentence or less. My mom's like, how about I write everything, a fun fact about everyone on the board. I write it because you don't have as good a handwriting as me. This is true. So she did, and they were like Legos or Barbies or movies or whatever. And then it gets to my teacher. And mind you, I had this teacher for all 3 years of middle school because I went to a private school. And my mom wrote on the board, your favorite time period of history is 9/11. And the teacher, and by the way, they can't see us either. They can just see the writing happening. And my teacher goes, no, 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 I don't like that happened. My mom goes, you're right. You don't like that it happened, but it's the most interesting part of history too. And I think about it. Every year when the anniversary hit, we always watched a video and all these different things on 9/11 about 9/11. So I was like, that makes sense. If maybe that's true. I don't know. And then basically my dad and brother had gone to the other rooms and warned other people and whatever. So then I wake up, went to school. After school, I went straight to my cousin's house. I was like, if they're not saved and this is a sign, I have to like do something. So turns out just one of my cousins hadn't been baptized, and I misheard it on the phone. So that did play into it. However, God did actually give me this dream, supernatural dream, to warn me, I guess to show me what the rapture will be. I don't know. So I'm so excited for you guys to see this video. I did that in 8 minutes. That's crazy. I used to tell that in a half hour. So the fact that God had me wait this long, because he knew when I would be ready to share this kind of stuff. So I plan at the beginning of July to post this, like I said, and the next episode will probably, as of this video, the biggest experience I've ever had. So I'm excited for you guys to hear that, and it probably will take up the whole video, just that one supernatural experience. It might make 2 videos. Like, I can only record 15 minutes at a time on TikTok here. YouTube and Instagram, we're going to figure that out, right? Okay. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this,